Tip number 11 is the 4 horsemen of great storytelling. There are 4 core concepts that consistently help improve storytelling in content: speed to value, contrast, comprehension, and curiosity loops. Let's break down each one. Speed to value is one of the most important principles of great content. And it essentially means this: how fast, in terms of words, seconds, or sentences, can you get to the valuable part of the story? And value can either be entertaining or uniquely interesting. The longer it takes you to get to that point from beginning to there, the less people that are gonna stick around to watch. Your goal is to increase the speed to value by shortening the time it takes to get there. And the easiest way to do this is by deleting all the unnecessary fluff at the beginning of the video. You want to cut all the sentences that are not immediately critical to getting comprehension to go up. Go sentence by sentence all the way through the document and cut all those fluffy sentences, and you'll be left with a much more compressed story. All right, now the easiest way to improve storytelling in your videos is to embed more contrast. Contrast is the distance between what someone currently believes and what you believe to be true. It's expectations versus reality. So to create contrast, you want to start with the baseline understanding, let's call that A, and then come up with your alternative reality, B. That distance is contrast. So for example, I might say something like, most people believe the easiest way to build wealth is real estate. And then to create contrast, I might say something like this: but that isn't true, because the data actually shows investing in the S&P 500 is a much better way to build wealth. So the contrast I build there is real estate versus S&P 500. And the more contrarian my take, the bigger the contrast, the more it will hook the viewer and keep them engaged. Your goal tactically when telling stories is to find points where you can embed contrast where it makes sense. And tactically, the way you do this is by taking a point, understanding what a normal person believes, and then figuring out what you believe that is different from that normal person. Okay, tip number 14. The most important driver of bad stories is comprehension loss. This means as you tell the story, the viewer either can't understand what you're saying or they lose the line of logic. If either of these things happen, they will be confused and just stop watching. Now, to solve for this comprehension loss, you just want to use simpler words and shorter sentences. Try to speak at an advanced 6th grade reading level. Any words more complex than this are just injecting unnecessary jargon that you don't need. Now, to solve for the confusing logic flow, the easiest way to do this is to tell your stories from wide to narrow. Start by setting broad context and then slowly narrow in on your point as you go down. Your breadth of topics should be seen like a funnel in this way, because that's how brains comprehend information, high to low. This is why most movies start with establishing shots before they go into the character dialogue. If you start narrow and then get broad and back to narrow, it's confusing and hard for the viewer to follow. Avoiding comprehension loss is a vital part of storytelling.